Niga saga saga niga saga re ga niga saga re ga niga saga niga saga re ga niga saga re ga niga saga saga niga saga re ga niga saga re ga niga saga re ga niga saga re चंदा सूरज लाखों तारे हैं जब तेरे ही ये सारे किस बातें होती हैं फिर तकरारें खींची है लकीरें सभी पे पर ना खींचू देखो बीच में तो दिलों के दीवारे दुनिया में कहीं भी दर्द से कोई भी दुनिया में कहीं भी दर्द से कोई भी तड़पे तो हमको यहाँ पे एहसास उसके जख्मों का हो के अपना भी दिल भर भर आए रोए आंखें रिश्ते बड़ी मुश्किलों से बनते हैं यहाँ पे लेकिन टूटने के लिए बस एक ही लम्हा चंदा सूरज लाखों तारे चंदा सूरज लाखों तारे चंदा सूरज लाखों तारे चंदा सूरज लाखों
How are you?
I've been okay. How have you been?
Yeah, good. I woke up super early just to catch up with you. I'm just joking. It's a Sunday morning. I woke up like around 5 a.m. It's 7 a.m. right now in summer on a Sunday, but it's cool. I'm happy. Um, no, but this is generally the time I would be awake because I have to go for a walk with my little fellow. And
Yes.
actually, talking on that note, I'll probably get him. Do you mind if I call him?
Oh, I don't mind at all.
Happy, come here. Happy here. Yeah, come, come. Here, Happy, here.
Oh, hey, Happy. Oh my God. Can I eat you up, Happy?
This guy was chilling on my bed. Happy, here, come here.
Yeah.
Here, Happy, here.
Oh.
He just turned 2.
Oh my God. He's a Labrador.
Yes, a purebred. Yes, and most likely he might be getting a buddy very soon.
Really?
Yeah, thinking of getting a golden retriever for him as a buddy.
Oh, I love retrievers. Oh, that would be beautiful.
Yeah, Happy, that's it. Now go sleep. Thing is, sorry, you were saying something?
Oh no, I just said bye, Happy.
Yeah. Boy, Happy. Now he wants more treats. Happy, go. Cool. Before we start off, do you think we can just take a quick picture and then go from there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. All right. You can stay as you are. I'm just going to take a picture. I'm going to put the thing on the bigger screen and take a picture.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Right?
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Cool. Right. Right. Shashaa, thank you heaps for joining me. And I really, really appreciate it because the fact that you even accepted my request to come on this podcast is amazing because this podcast is hardly only a few weeks old. And yeah, I was very keen to start it off because there wasn't one that actually talks about Sir's music. And I basically wanted to have one that celebrates his music and then as just my little respect for him. That's all. And so yeah, he was cool with that, and hence why I decided, okay, let's go with it.
I think for all of us, it's the respect that we have for Sir that.
Yeah. And yeah, so it's been absolutely amazing, especially with the support that I'm getting with from all of your colleagues and especially all the friends that I made in Trichy. It's just been amazing. And thanks to you too. You straight away said, "Yep, let's do it."
Anything for Sir. We're all equally, I mean, you would probably be a bigger fan, I'm sure, with the car. But yeah, we're all huge admirers of Sir first, and then we become musicians or people who work under him. So
Yeah.
it's all out of love and admiration for him.
It was just my way of showing my respect. That's all. That was never to say that I am the biggest, but it was just my way of just telling him that, sir, I really love you and I mean it. Because no wonder every time he sees me, he's like, you're crazy. Cool. So you made it back home successfully.
I did, yes. I'm here in Vancouver right now
Yeah.
with my family, but not with my family because we are in quarantine. So I'm under mandatory quarantine. I'm legally bound to be quarantined for 10 days after coming back here because just to ensure that I don't spread the COVID-19 virus right now, based on the circumstances that we're kind of facing right now. So yes, I am in bedrooms, the basement suite of our house.
Oh
My
wow.
parents are living upstairs. I'm living here
Oh
for
my
another days. Yeah, so I'm not able to squish my brothers and my parents and everybody yet. Hopefully after 12 days.
So was it 12 days?
It was 14 days. So I've been here for 2 days now.
Oh yeah,
So,
okay. Yeah, 12 more days to go. Oh
Yeah.
wow. Oof. Yeah, it's just so you was it a charter flight or something, or how did you make it back?
so basically, the consulate is providing repatriation flights to Canadians to get them back into the country.
Awesome.
So yeah, so I caught one of those and I got here and they just issued a flight and they issued the ticket and I got into my email and I was like, what? Like, yeah, no details, nothing. I mean, besides my passport details and everything, they didn't really run anything by me and they just sent it. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna get out of here. And the reason for me coming down was more personal than the COVID-19. I mean, I was fine being at home in Bombay, but it's
of
the
course.
reasons that I have to be here for. So
Yeah, indeed. And what's the number of cases like? Is it coming down in Canada? In Australia, it is.
oh yeah,
Yeah, they're flattening the curve. The curve is pretty flattened now. It was like around 6,000 cases, active cases until a week or so before, and now it's like under 1,000. That's it.
oh wow.
Yeah.
No, so Ontario, the cases are at a rise. I got a news feed today. I mean, in my news feed, I got this notification that I think they've gone up by 200 or 300 cases again today. Ontario and Montreal, there's a lot of cases. So
Okay.
it's scary. I mean, very scary.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's probably one of the first. I mean, it's pretty interesting. I'm unable to even describe what it's like, right? So the thing is, I mean, it's something that we have never experienced before. Personally, I have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've never been through something of this nature. And same thing. I mean, when I was traveling back, everything just seemed so foreign and so alien because I've never entered an airport and seen an airport completely shut down. And literally, there's no air conditioning in the airport. The conveyor belts weren't functioning. There was one line with us, all of us expats there, and we're all trying. And then they hoard us all into that flight. That had me by shock. They charged us, I think, 3 times what a normal flight would cost one way.
Oof.
And And on top of that, I figured that, okay, maybe it's for security. Maybe they're going to have fewer people on the aircraft. We're all literally seated like 2 inches away from each other.
Oh, wow.
The entire flight is packed. And I'm wondering, first they issue the flight without, giving us any details about what class they're putting me on, nothing. And then they're loading us up onto that flight. So in the lines, it's like, okay, please maintain 6 feet distance. And then in the flight, it's like, what was the point of you keeping us in a line, 6 feet apart, when eventually you were just going to dump us on that aircraft? So I don't understand what that whole scenario was, and because it's unprecedented, like I said, I think it's something that we haven't seen. I was just like, I don't even know how to react to something like this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just crazy.
I was just like, it's better you just count your blessings and you're just thankful that you're going back to your city. But the thing is that your country. But at the same time, it was like, if I'm sick, it's my responsibility to keep myself protected. And by protecting myself, I'm protecting other people. But then at that point, realizing that, this is so irresponsible and I can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm putting so many other people at risk just because of their goof up,
Yeah.
And I'm stressed right now with what happened. So I'm just hoping that.
Sorry, I reminded you about it.
Like, no, it's okay. It's not that. I'm just hoping that I emerge out of these 14 days of quarantine without being sick because of what happened in that flight.
Yeah, no, you'll be fine. Actually, you know what? Since you touched upon the airport thing, I think I always wanted to tell you about this. So we traveled together from Trichy to Bangalore, as you know. And then there was this dude who was sitting right next to me and who was annoying the hell out of you in terms of all the questions and stuff, right? And then after you left, when we guys were collecting our baggages, myself and Vijay Prakash, so this guy was then Googling you, saying, oh my God, she's such a big artist. I didn't even realize I was talking to her.
Oh my God. Oh, I didn't know that.
And then he said, please tell her my sorry. I said, no, that's very nice of you, but I'll tell her.
Dude, if you're watching this, no hard feelings. It's all cool.
Right. Hey, you just had a release along with Sir. That's such an amazing track. You look absolutely stunning. Really, really good. It's growing.
I just woke up and I shot that. You know that?
Really? You weren't even aware that it was actually going to come out?
Sorry?
You weren't aware that it was actually going to come out like day before?
No.
Yeah, and also with your quarantine and stuff, right?
Yeah, so we were told that the song needs to be recorded and shot and everything. So we did the needful. Of course, it's there. So I recorded the whole thing on this little Chinese microphone in my bedroom in India.
Really? Wow.
And then I sent off the files, and everybody recorded at their own home. Some recorded on cell phones, some recorded on a setup if they had one. And then after that, we were told that we needed to send a couple of angles of videos shot on our phone. So, and it doesn't look like a phone shot video. I mean, a lot of the angles and shots look amazing. Yeah. So it's all been shot on our phones.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, and I just woke up in the morning and I was like, oh my God, I really need, and I was late when I woke up. So, and I had like a 2-hour deadline. I was like, oh my God, when am I going to do this? This upload is taking forever. And I think the upload ended up taking like 9 hours because everybody is like on their phones and, especially with the lockdown. So, but it was very fun. So we just recorded it, kept the phone there, lip synced the whole thing, our lines and everything, and sent up the videos, and yeah, it was fun.
Oh my goodness. Wow. And this was all done like within a span of like how many days?
Oh, yeah.
When it was first conceived and then done.
Yeah, it was very snap. I think within a week.
Really?
Within a week. Yeah.
Oh
I mean, imagine the hard work of getting all those artists together.
Yeah.
Everybody's footage in, getting everybody's shot and editing and color correction and all of that. I mean, that's a lot of hard work. So kudos to the entire team.
Indeed. I mean, you looked absolutely stunning, and that's why I sent you a message yesterday. And because I was having a look and I was like, oh my God, this is really good. And the song is amazing too. And Sir's sister's done it again. And
Uh-huh.
it's growing on me.
Yeah, yeah, it's a beautiful melody. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
It reminds you of, those Vande Mataram days, right?
true, true. I actually was heading out for a run yesterday, and then this track was in a loop again and again, again and again. And yeah, I'm just nuts.
For sure.
Anyway, look, obviously you've been learning music since your childhood, right? Have you got any memories that you want to share? You've been learning Hindustani stuff as well, right? In your childhood?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. It's
anything that you want to tell us about that we may not be aware of? I'm not aware of.
that you guys wouldn't be aware of. I don't know. I think like in a lot of interviews I've told people that I've trained in Hindustani classical and that
Yeah.
a lot of it is self-taught. Like I used to listen to a lot of
Wow.
um sorry?
No, well, so you were self-taught, were you? Did
Yeah,
you?
a lot of
Ooh,
it was actually, yeah.
wow.
I used to listen to a lot of audio sets and CDs when I was growing up. So I would keep listening to these CDs until I would get it.
Yeah,
Like I would have it memorized, and
yeah,
which would be all night. I would just keep pressing,
yeah,
the
yeah,
rewind button, the play button, or on
yeah,
my audio set player, I would press rewind and play, and like all night. My hand. So I still have this habit that when I sleep at night, I always sleep on the left side of the bed, and I
yeah.
always have an arm dangling like under
Oh,
the bed. I still have that habit as a child because that's the hand I used to use to rewind and play CD
oh my
player.
goodness.
Yes. So I've not grown out of that. Yeah, that's something I don't think I've told very many people that just suddenly I just remembered it. Um and so that was a major part of my training though,
Yeah,
listening I think is a great way of
yeah,
teaching yourself.
yeah,
And if you're
yeah,
a good listener, I think you'll always be a good student and you'll always be able to grasp.
yeah.
And that listening part of music, I think, helped me when it came to singing in 13 languages.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that comes because I listen to how words are pronounced
Right.
um, and I replicate it. So I
Yeah.
think listening, I mean, to everybody who's watching, if you want to know how I do it, trust me, it's not. I'm not well versed in 13 languages. I'm not a genius or anything. I just listen.
Oh my goodness. Wow, that's pretty amazing. In fact, this is something that guy told me at the airport too. He said he actually read about you and he's like, 13 languages, how is it possible?
Yeah, no, I don't speak those 13 languages. I speak broken, probably six, seven of them. But yeah,
Yeah.
listening is
Wow,
it.
it's pretty amazing. Look, I know you met Sir during the Cook Studio days, right? Was that the first time ever you met him? Have you got any memories of meeting him first time? And then what was it like? Just curious to listen about it.
So no, that was not the first time I had met
Is
him.
it?
Um,
Okay.
the first time I met him was insane. I mean, I had played some of my work to Srini sir, and he told me to come to the
Right.
studio, and he said there's something that sir is working on, and that he'd
Wow.
like to meet me. So, I was like, oh my god. So
Yeah.
I went and I got lost, and I somehow made it to sir's studio, in rickshaws, and these rickshaw would keep taking me around and around and around. But
Yeah.
I barely made it there in time, and I remember going inside and Srini sir told me that when you see Rahman, jump on him, because he's just gonna come and go, and you won't even know when he's disappeared. I was like, and I literally I took him very seriously. I took Srini sir's instructions very seriously. So I was just waiting, and then there was this one. I think I waited for like an hour and a half
Yeah.
in that waiting room in the older version of the studio. I don't know if sir remembers this or not though. So I was just waiting there, and I remember seeing PG there. I remember meeting Benny there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was very brief, and he introduced himself and I introduced myself, and that was it. And then they went back. And
Yeah.
then I think after like an hour and a half, 2 hours of waiting, suddenly I see what I've seen on television of Rahman sir. I see him, and very quickly he's walking. I was like, Sasha, remember Srini sir said when you see him jump. I ran out of that room, and I was like, excuse me, sir. I was like, Ramon, sir. I didn't even know like what to say to him. he turned to me and he's like, "Hi, yes." And I, like, at that time, I think, like, my hands were shaking, my knees were shaking, my legs were shaking, and I was just like, I was like, even if I could get a squeak out of my mouth.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Sir, I've come from, like, right now I've come from Bombay, and, if I could just, play something to you, or. He's like, and it looked like, he was trying to tell me that, I'm working on something right now." And you just interrupted that. But he was such a sweetheart. He's just like, he looked that way, and then he looked at me, and then he's like, "Okay, come inside."
Wow.
I was like, this is him, and how can he be so grounded, and how could he be just so humble? And then he went inside, and he told me to sit on this chair that would keep going round and round, and he would go round and round in his chair, and I would go round and round in my chair. We both have that habit, clearly. And the best part is that we're both Capricorns, so it's just, like, I feel like immediate connection on so many grounds. So, very randomly, he just started asking me questions about who I am, where I'm from. Which part of Canada. I told him I'm from Canada. He's like, "Oh, Toronto." I was like, "No, sir, I'm from Vancouver." And then he said, so we spoke for a little while, and then he asked me to sing something. So he's like, "Sing something." So I sang this classical composition of this rag called Gurjari Todi. I sang a little bit. So I told him that, "Sir, I have a soft voice." So, and the fan was going off like really loud. So it's like, cut. And he's like, "Say something." So I was like, he's not going to be able to hear me in this noise. So I just told him very, very calmly. I was like, "Sir, that's really loud, and I don't think you'll be able to hear me if I sing in this noise." So he called somebody. He's like, "Hey, turn the fan, please." I mean, what a sweetheart. He actually had somebody come and switch the fan off. Oh my God. Like, it's just so clear in my head. And the fan was switched off. I sang, and literally this composition that I was singing, there's a lot of very fast runs in it. So because I was shivering and shaking so hard, the runs were faster than ever. So much that I ended up sounding like a chipmunk when I sang.
Oh, wow.
I was so scared. And then he's like, "Okay, is there anything else?" And then I sang something else, and I sang so horribly that day. I think it's the worst singing in my life, which is why I think when I got up and he's like, "Okay, I need to leave a CD or something." He's like, "No, that wouldn't be necessary." And I never heard back from Sir.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
I think I sang so bad. I think that's the worst singing of my life. That's what I feel. And then 6 years, I didn't, nothing, like, no word from Sir, nothing. I was like, "Shashaa, you really blew it." And I was nervous, like, I was legit nervous. The song was, "Oh, mane namura, jiya un binere, mane namura, jiya un binere, kaise samjhao samajhat nahi, mane namura." So imagine singing this like 3 times faster than what I just sang.
Oh my God.
I think that's kind of what happened that day.
Oh gosh.
But anyways, that event, and I never heard back from Sir until Coke Studio. I auditioned for Coke Studio, I think 5 or 6 years after that incident.
Really?
And
Wow.
yeah, so I don't know if Sir remembers he had met me, but I really hope, at this point, I hope not. It would be so embarrassing.
I can tell you he'll be watching this.
Yeah, I know. I'm fine with it now. I mean, it might make him laugh, but that was
Wow.
really funny.
Awesome. And then the encore tour happened after that, right?
Yes, that was right after Coke Studio, and I got a call that he'd like me on board for that, and just every experience of being with Sir live on stage has been incredible.
Yeah, of course. Can totally imagine. And of course, we got to see you in the thing, like firstly in the Coke Studio, and then encore. You may not even remember this. So I had traveled all the way from Australia to Delhi in 2017, and I actually ran into you in the lifts And I'm like, hey, you're Shashaa, right? And you're like, yes. And you just went, and you had your headphones on. You were in the zone.
I apologize for
No,
that.
wow, come on.
I'm always like that. I'm always in like my own thing, and
Yes.
I kind of later. It's always like a really late feedback that I get. Like I'll listen to the music now, and then I'll probably it's like someone will talk to me now, and then I'll remember that they were talking to me like 10 minutes later. I'm somewhere else by then. They're somewhere else by then. So yeah, I apologize.
No, you don't have to. And interestingly enough, though, 2 months ago is obviously when I came down to Trichy for the concert, and you won't believe it. We both ran into each other in the lifts of that hotel again. And I said, hey, Shashaa. You're like, yes. And I'm like, do you remember? I was this guy in 2017 in the lift in Encore. And you're like, oh my God, right.
Oh my gosh, wow, that is so cool.
And of course, we got to hang out in the backstage and stuff like that. It was just amazing, no doubt about it. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. Look, thing is, I mean, would it be right for me to say this OK Kanmani was a major breakthrough?
Yes, absolutely. I think after OK Kanmani release, the first thing that happened that I realized the next morning when I woke up
The mob were on you.
Oh my gosh. I probably had 3,000 followers that day, like just overnight. And then it just kind of like skyrocketed. And I think that album and Rahman sir's belief in me, I think that's kind of why I think people came to know of me and of my existence, and knowing that, there's a girl called Shashaa who's around who sings.
Nah, it was just amazing. I was blown away, especially with all the 3 tracks that you sang. And of course, we'll talk more into some of those tracks specifically. But one track that obviously stood out straight away was Parandu Selava, right? And am I right? Is that the track that Sir used his iPad and stuff for that? Is that right?
Yeah, I heard it was called like the loop song, right?
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
So I think that's the one where he used Apple loops and he just kept looping it, and when he called us to sing, we were told to sing certain parts in like in that fashion. So he would keep taking a chunk of tum 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 tum, and he did a loop out of that. Tum 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 tum. There's a loop of that. And together, when he put it together, it's like, whoa, what's happening? He transports you into like this other dimension, and that's how he recorded all of our vocals. So they were like, he made Karthik do a couple of things with like body sounds, and he made me do certain sounds, and he would keep making loops of it, like small, very, very interesting stuff. So yeah.
How long did that How long did that recording session go for? Just out of curiosity, with absolutely creative song like that, who has never done it before.
Yeah, it was created like pretty much on the spot actually, and I think it didn't take more than 2 hours.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it didn't take more than that. He was on fire that day in the studio. He's just, he's throwing ideas at Karthik, and we're both recording at the same time. Like Karthik's in one, I'm in the other, and we're just recording at the same time. He's telling me to sing something, he's telling Karthik to sing. It was such a beautiful and memorable recording. I think one of the most, I don't know. There's something in the air when I was recording the song. There's something in the air, and I think always resonate with that.
Yeah. And hey, on that note, do you think you could sing a line or two from that song? It's my absolute favorite.
Oh, of course I would. Puttam puduveri, puttam pudinoi, tikkiyada mori, tittikede vale. Oh, puttam puduveri, puttam pudinoi, tikkiyada mori, tittikede vale. Just like that. Just like that. Yo sekade po, ya sekade po, parandu selava. There you go.
Beautiful. Wow, amazing. It's so cool. Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, you sing it so effortlessly. It's just really amazing. you make it seem like it's so simple.
Yeah, I have my days. I have days where I sing, where I struggle with every note. And then I have certain days where it's like, okay, you're cooperating. Thank you.
Yeah. What's the thing is, I mean, my grandmother used to be a music teacher in the past, and of course she's no more. And then she used to be a Carnatic music teacher, and I regretfully have to say that I never learned from her. And yeah, I regret. But having said that, she had a prime time. She used to practice and teach only in the mornings. So is that a typical thing with musicians where they have their prime time like mornings, afternoons, or evenings? How does it work for you?
Yeah. For me, I could never sing in the mornings, even though like when I was a child, and I used to like my parents would force me to go into the basement or the bedroom, whatever, like wherever we would be living, and we used to like move a lot. So wherever we were living, they would lock me up inside, and they'd be like, "Finish your riyaz 1 hour, and then you come out." Um, so even then, so so classical music. The time for classical music would be in the morning, like before I used to go to school.
Yeah,
So I would wake up super early, like 4 in the morning, and then I would go and, freshen up, shower and everything, come out and sit for that 1 hour of classical riyaz. And I remember my voice would just feel really weird in the mornings. Like every time I
yeah.
would practice voice, I'd keep clearing my throat. And then in the evening, yeah, in the evenings when I came back from school and everything else that I was involved in, I was
Yeah.
doing like a lot of co-curriculars, ice skating and basketball and swimming and Aikido, martial arts, everything. So after
Wow.
all the classes, I mean, whatever I had that day of the week, at night when I came back, I would practice the semi-classical songs. So film
Yeah,
songs and film music and all of that. And that
yeah,
time I would feel really good when I would practice.
yeah,
But
yeah,
those morning lessons morning riyaz would just really bother me,
yeah,
like my voice.
yeah,
So today when I practice, my timings for practicing are like 12 midnight onwards, and
yeah.
that is for me, that is the most beautiful time to sit down and practice, and it's been like that since probably over a decade, like 15 years now, I guess.
Wow.
um yeah, I since forever I've been a night owl. I'm a perennial nocturne. And I didn't know these things about Rahman sir. So again, when I met sir and he would call it like call us to record at like 3 in the morning or 4, I would be like, yeah, perfect. Like we're so in sync. But yeah, I'm very comfortable recording in the night and practicing in the night and composing or songwriting in the night.
Right. Wow. Amazing.
Anytime in the morning, I'm good.
And did most of the recording sessions happen in the night then with Sir? Most likely.
Um, there are certain sessions which probably started at like um uh I don't know, like what, 6 in the evening maybe, and then they went on till like the next morning, 10 o'clock.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like a lot of times he would call us for one song, and then it would go on
Yeah.
to recording 2 or 3 other tracks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and the rest of the time we'd just be sitting and chatting with other singers, or if Sir were around, a lot of times we'd sit and talk to him, and we would not record at all. But that itself, that session of sitting and talking and gaining all that insight from Sir would itself be
Yeah.
so informative and invigorating and spiritually uplifting.
True. True. Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
just so many sides to Rahman there.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I had the opportunity to talk to him for almost like 15 minutes in the backstage in Trichy when he came down the stage to talk to me. And we spoke about so many things. And firstly, though, one of the things that happened was I could not speak anything. As soon as he was like right in front of me, I'm trying to say something and I myself could not hear.
I
And,
feel you.
and then he was like, "Hey, tell me, man." Yeah, but anyway, after that, we spoke for like nearly 10-15 minutes, and I think one of the things that he stuck with was the fact that I was not married yet, and then he was like, "It's time to get married." And then I later on even had an email from him saying, "I have you looked for a girl yet?"
Oh,
Yeah.
that is so funny. That is so Rahman sir.
And of course, this is my office/ARR room, right? No prizes for guessing. And so I sent when I set it up. So this is the picture from Trichy. Not sure if you can see it. Can you actually see it?
So I see only a glare, or I would have loved to see it. You could
Oh,
show me
yeah.
after. Is that him with the car?
With the car, yes, that's him. Yes.
That's him, right? The red jacket, I remember.
So I sent him pictures of this room as I was setting it up, and then his response was a smiley, and then he said, "Okay, it's time for you to look for a girl for sure." He's like behind me. I said,
So
"So
funny.
whenever I get married, it will be in Chennai, just so that I can get your blessings."
Oh, that is so.
Yeah. And hey, one of the other tracks which basically sets everything on fire is Nane Vargiren, right? And especially in the concerts and stuff. And oh my God, the energy that with which you sing that, and then the song is so cool. You just set it all fire, and we're transported to a different world altogether when you sing that one.
Thank you.
Do you have any memories of that one? Because it's one amazing track. Of
Yeah, thank you. It's Rahman sir's song. I mean, at the end of the day, anything we sing,
yeah,
it's you know, it's very easy to take credit for a singer, but I feel it should be the other way around. It's the way the composer gets you to render a track. It's the brief he gives you. It's the way
yeah,
he makes you sing a song.
yeah, yeah,
And which is why I have so much love and respect for Rahman sir, because he'll get the best out of you, and he won't expect you to thank him in return. He just doesn't, and that gives me all the more reason to feel grateful for everything that I've sung
yeah,
for him, because
yeah,
um, he's one of those composers that makes, like, my perspective on a song can be so different from what he makes me sing, from what
yeah,
he out of me,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that is what makes all the difference. So even when I was singing Van, even when I was singing Nane Vargire, I had actually
Mm.
recorded Nane Vargire for 2 hours before Sir came into the studio to record me. And
Oh,
after he came into the studio, he changed the entire way I had sung the song. He changed
oh,
everything. And that is why Nane Vargire, the way you like it, um, it's that way, because it's the way he made me sing it, not the way I had
wow.
interpreted it.
Oh,
So
wow.
yes. So which is why I feel that the entire credit goes to Sir, nothing to me. I was just the medium of rendering his vision.
You're being really humble. Come on.
No, I'm being honest. I'm I'm
Yeah.
I'm just I'm just honest. Yeah.
Um, is it okay for you for me to request you to sing two lines from that song, if that's okay?
Yes, of course. Ah, ah, நானே வருகிறேன் கேளாமல் தருகிறேன் கண் தீண்டி உரைகிறேன் கை தீண்டி கருகிறேன் நினைவுகளை மறக்கிறேன் நிகழ்களா மறக்கிறேன் இடம் பொருளாய் மறக்கிறேன் எனது மறக்கிறேன் நானே 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 வருகிறேன் கேளாமல் தருகிறேன் கந்தீனே உரைகிறேன் கை தீனே
Wow, amazing. So cool, Sasha. Thank you so much.
No
It's
problem.
got magic in it. I have no words to describe. Hey, uh,
It's on.
just curious, what's your playlist like? Just out of curiosity, for me, of course, it's predominantly AR Sir's tracks, and then I even listen to the super old albums like Roja and Trida Trida and things like that. And it's still so fresh and relevant. That's the best part. And I'm just curious, what's your playlist like? It can be Sirs, it doesn't have to be Sirs, it can be anything.
Of course it has. I mean, how can a playlist be complete without Rahman song? Is that possible? Like for us, like
Yeah, yeah,
if you grown up in an environment where Indian music has been played. There has to be AR Rahman songs on it. I mean, how can you not be influenced by that? How can, right? Like, how can your life not be influenced by Rahman's music? And so for me, Tal and Vande Mataram and of course Kandu Kundin and Sangamam and all these albums
Yeah.
have like changed my life. And Guru,
Oof.
Guru just changed my life. Like it changed everything. It changed my career path and just the direction I was going in. So of course there's all of that. And other than that, artists besides Rahman sir, I have a lot of Bon Iver and I have a lot of Radiohead, my favorite band. Then I have a lot of alternative music. Like, of course, I mean, I've got a lot of Billie Eilish on there. Then I have what else? Who else? I listen to a very wide plethora of artists.
Yeah.
Novo Amor, and then Stereophonics,
Yeah.
and then Nora Jones is there. So I listen to so much music. I listen to everything and anything and everything, anything and everything under the sun except for death metal. And
Right. Okay.
listen to everything else.
Do you also have like in my perspective, I have a set of go-to songs. For example, Khwaja Mere Khwaja, Zikr, and Pia Haji Ali, and things like that. Where when especially Khwaja Mere Khwaja, I listen to that. If I have to go into an interview or something like that, it just takes me into that zone. I'm more positive, and I'm like, okay, I feel like a rock star now. Now I'm going to smash this interview and then come out. So I have those. How should I say? You can call it I'm being superstitious, but at the same time, it's just it helps me get into that zone. Do you have any songs like that in particular, or is it just me being crazy?
No, it's not you being crazy. I know what you're saying. So for me, those songs that kind of inspire and motivate and continue to be that way,
Yeah.
like you can even call them lucky charms, like you mentioned Khwaja Mere Khwaja. For me, it'll have to be Chanda Suraj Lakho Tare.
Yeah. Yeah.
That one, and of course Tere Bina Besuwaji. These are two songs that
Mm.
I can't get out of my system. Like I just
Wow.
cannot.
Wow.
And I think a little later in life was that song. The Villai Pookan Palagami. Oh my God, that was one of the songs that used to do something to me.
Yeah.
But I discovered that a lot later. But yeah, it'll have to be Chanda Suraj Lakho Tare Jab Tere Hi Sare. Because it was also because Nusrat Saab was a part of it, and
Mm.
just it was that era. Brilliant song. Rahman sir, when he starts singing on this song, oh Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. True. I can totally agree with you. Would this also be a track that you would love to perform on stage at some point with Sir? Who knows?
Oh my God, I mean, I just visualize myself performing with Sir, like this song with
Yeah.
him. Oh, and it just something happened inside. So yes, I would love to sing Guru's Hafiz with Rahman sir. Oh Jesus.
I hope he watches this for sure. 99 songs. Obviously, I cannot resist talking about it. Your tracks blew me away for sure. And the thing is, though, with Hamnawa, it took me a bit of time. With Sir's songs, I mean, some of the tracks are like instant poison, and the other ones are like a slow killer. And with this one, it took me at least 1 to 2 weeks. So, and after that, especially your part, I started humming it, and it just went on and on and on and on in my head. And then I was like, okay, the magic has caught me, and this is it.
Then it was Hamnawa. Sorry, I had to crack a bad joke somewhere.
Do you have any memories of recording for 99 songs? And of course, we can talk more about this Soja as well.
But the song itself, this song I always call it like a whirlwind, because there are so many dimensions to the track. It's like one genre. It's like a jazz standard song with various subgenres to it. That's how the song is, because you have that section which is कोई रोके तो कहूँ तुमसे ला 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 यारा लौटाओ mere paas. It's got that entire jazz cabaret feel. But then there's another song. There's another part in the song which is this difference right here. La 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 la. It's very soft and very morose, and then it goes a yada. She's like, I'm here. And then you have that other song where I'm like, Tishkow, which is an entirely different vibe. And then it starts with, if you don't love me, I'll put a bullet through your heart, So it's like, there's so many emotions, and I resonate with that because I myself, I'm a very animated person, I have a lot of expressions, and I think that's why they took me into theater, because I just, there's a lot of expressions that I come out, and I feel that in the song, like, Soja Soja itself has a lot of different expressions in it, and that was the coolness of this composition. But if you fell asleep, I would be very curious to know if you fell asleep at the Dishkow part, because I'd be really bad time to fall asleep.
I don't know. I must have gone very deep into the lyrics, I think, and I must have thought, okay, when she says Soja Soja, okay, it is a lullaby for me, and then time to sleep.
That's funny, though. It's very funny.
And look, obviously, I would love to have you in the podcast forever and just keep talking about all your experiences and your journey. But unfortunately, it might have to come to an end to give you back your time. But before I let you go off, though, I just wanted to share a couple of things. So there are a number of Australian ARR fans and who absolutely love you for what you do. I basically told them that Shashaa is coming on my podcast, and they said, okay, we have one thing to share to her. And I asked them, okay, what is it? Just say, Shashaa, keep rocking. We love you a lot.
Oh, my love to all these Australian fans, and seriously, thank you for loving my music. Thank you for loving me, and whatever I've tried to offer to you guys, and it's your love that keeps me going. I mean, if you dispose of what I sing and what I do, I mean, I'd not be singing. So I am because of you guys. So thank you, and keep it coming.
You're very, very humble. Look, last but not the least, have you got any message for Sir, if he's watching this, or if he's going to be watching this?
Okay, I'm gonna get emotional if I like say something, because he's, and I have this problem every time anybody asks me how I feel about him. I get a lump in my throat because I get really emotional. I'm getting like emotional right now just thinking about it. But I have too much of love and respect, and I think giving words to it would contaminate how I feel for him. So I'm not gonna say anything. But you should know how much I love him.
Yeah, very true.
It's my parents, and then it's Rahman sir, and then I mean, of course, my brothers. But I can't think of a third entity.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
I can relate to it too. I don't know. Does he come in your dreams? He came in my dreams even last night. And
I dream of him every alternate night.
Oof.
And this has been for years. I've been having these dreams. It's gone a little less frequent now, but it's been about 12 years since Switch. Every alternate night, I would dream of Rahman sir.
Wow.
And they would be very random dreams. He'd be sitting somewhere, and I'd just be like, okay, I don't want to say stalking him, but I'd just be standing somewhere and just like watching sir, and just like knowing that he's there. And then another night I'd be interacting with him. Another night I'd be like in his studio, and the studio is something else. It's like a studio of my imagination because it's like before I met him and before I went to his studio, but just a random spaceship kind of thing. And I'd be sitting there, and he would be there, and he'd be working, or he'd just be sitting and very random things. Like, I've seen him in my house, and he's been having biryani in my house. Like, I've seen dreams like that as well. But yeah, very random dreams. But I've been dreaming of sir every alternate night since 12 years now.
Wow. I don't know. For me, though, if I had to describe about what goes with me, is it happens even more frequently just before I'm about to meet him. For example, Trichy was going to happen. I knew I was going to meet him. And about a month and a half before that, he used to come in my dreams almost every day. Weird dreams, and also one of the dreams where he was in Sydney and I was walking with him near the Opera House and stuff. Random. And he was in my dream just last night too. It was in a hotel for some reason. And why would I be sharing the same room as Sir? And he's on the other side of the room, and then I'm here. I'm asking him, Sir, do you need a coffee? I'm like, no, I'm busy.
I can see Sir saying that as well.
And it's happening very, very frequently now. I mean, I get this feeling whenever I'm about to meet him, it happens. So it's happened to me every time I've met him. So I don't know. It's around the corner, I think.
You may meet him soon again.
And look, it's been absolutely amazing. But before I let you go off, I think we can maybe close it off with your most amazing one.
Oh,
Maybe a couple of lines from that.
sure, yeah. Havan varuvan toruvan mare pol viruvan maravam arivan என்னுள் ஒளிவான் அருகில் நிமிர்வான் தொலைவு பணிவான் கர்வம் கொண்டார் கல்லாயுரைவான் கல்லாயுரைவான் உறைவான் காதல் வந்தான் கணியான் நெகிழ்வான் என் கள்ளக்காமுகனே அவன்தான் வருவான்.
Beautiful, Shashaa. Amazing. We totally love you. Absolutely. Thank you so much once again for coming. I feel very, very honored because, like, considering I'm just a fan, that's all. I'm not even a professional guy doing a podcast or something. I'm just doing it out of love and respect for Sir. And the fact that yourself and all your colleagues are coming forward to support me in this, it's just truly amazing. It clearly shows the love and respect we all have for Sir.
And for you as well. Being such an honest fan to him, I think a lot of it comes from there as well.
Thank you so much.